and welcome to yet another episode of Weekly Updates from Digital India Podcast. This show is brought to you by staff and students of Web Marketing Academy, and I am your host Manasi. This show gives you the latest updates in the digital marketing world in India, and we are giving you updates of the last 7 days. Here are the major headlines. How Wimbledon aced social media when the Wimbledon was happening. The second story we have is about Google India's Code to Learn contest becoming a part of the Rashtriya Avishkar Abhiyan. And the third story we have for today is about Facebook announcing updated controls for newsfeed. The fourth story is about how brands and leaders and what they can learn about social media from Narendra Modi. And the fifth story we have for today is about Chief Minister Nitish Kumar responding promptly to complaints on social media platform. And the sixth story we have for today is about Oommen Chandi Lookalike, a Saudi national coming to meet the Kerala Chief Minister. Those are some of the top headlines, and here are the detailed stories of the headlines. Our top story for today is from econsultancy.com, and they are talking about how Wimbledon has aced social media. They're talking about how Wimbledon on Twitter has utilized Twitter's new auto amplify video tool. This is basically a programmatic way for advertisers to sell pre-roll video ads against videos uploaded to Twitter as promoted tweets. Online, Wimbledon worked with short-form video director Gauri Pennar on a regular series of compelling uploads from the competition. On Periscope, you see that brands are becoming very excited about live streaming apps such as Periscope and Meerkat. Wimbledon held a live walking tour with Roger Federer. This was actually a very entertaining and interesting 17 minutes spent in the company of the player, and despite the obvious lack of quality and occasional wind interference, it was a very successful venture. On Instagram, it is providing incredibly high quality and varied photography on Instagram. This seemed to be paying off in a huge amount considering the number of likes and comments for each of its images. Now that's how Wimbledon seemed to have used the social media space, that is on Twitter, on Vine, using Periscope and Instagram. They seem to be everywhere, calling out to audience from various sections of the society, from various channels in social media. The second story we have for today is about Google India's Code to Learn contest, and that is becoming a part of Rashtriya Avishkar Abhiyan. On their official blog, that's googleindia.blogspot.in, they say Google India's Code to Learn contest becomes a part of Rashtriya Avishkar Abhiyan. Code to Learn initiative has been included in the Rashtriya Avishkar Abhiyan, that's National Innovation Mission. The contest enables students from class 5th to 10th to develop software projects on subjects of their choice without writing even one line of programming code. To develop their projects, students can use Scratch and App Inventor. Now both these are apps, and these are tools that have been developed by MIT. These tools make programming very easy, and students are able to tell stories, make animations, build games, and create Android apps in a quick and intuitive manner. That's awesome. I mean, imagine students from 5th standard to 10th standard developing their own programming and their own way of telling stories through animations and building games and creating their own apps. That's really awesome. If you have a child at home, or if you know somebody who does, please do let them know about it. Also, if you have kids who are not in that age group, there's no harm in trying the app. And you could probably log on to CODETOLEARN, that's Code to Learn with Google, WITHGOOGLE.com. That's Code to Learn with Google.com. To explore this feature, the contest is right there. It's called Google India Code to Learn contest. And before we move on to our third story, which is also very interesting because it's about news feeds from Facebook. Third story for today is right there from the horse's mouth. That's from Newsroom from FB.com. And they're talking about updated controls for newsfeed on Facebook. It says we are announcing even better tools for you to actively shape and improve the newsfeed experience. We have redesigned and expanded Facebook's newsfeed preferences to give you more control. So what are the changes that they have made? They have said that you can select friends and pages to see first. So to help us prioritize stories and make sure you don't miss posts from particular friends and pages, you can now select which friends and pages you would like to see on top of your newsfeed. The second feature they're talking about is finding new pages to connect to. Helping you find new pages to follow can help you connect with publishers, artists, and businesses you might be interested in. Based on the types of pages you have liked in the past, you can discover new pages in order to get more of these stories that you care about. And the third feature is select which friends and pages to follow or even unfollow. Now, with an updated design of the tools we previously launched, you can now see a list of the top people, pages, and groups that you have seen in your news feed over the past week. And you can actually choose to unfollow any friend, page, or group if you don't want to see their updates at all. You can also see who you have unfollowed in the past and choose to refollow them at any particular given point of time. Now, these new ways to control your news feed on Facebook is available currently only on iOS and will be rolling out on Android and desktop versions in the coming weeks. But do remember that this feature is available and it is going to be available to all of us very soon. That was the update from Facebook itself. And before we move on to another story which is going to talk about the social media presence of Narendra Modi. And the next story, that's the fourth story we have for you today, is from the Economic Times, and they are talking about what brands and leaders can learn about social media from Narendra Modi. And this article is written by Ashok Lalla. Thanks to being the one who not only introduced terms like Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram into the PM lingo, but also walk the talk across social media platforms. That's what Ashok Lalla has to say about Narendra Modi and his ways of using social media platforms. Narendra Modi is now amongst the top world leaders in terms of number of followers across social media. He was the first head of government to get on Weibo, the Chinese social network. The first leader to embrace selfie mania. Here are a couple of points Ashok Lalla points out to Narendra Modi seeing and flooding the whole of social media. He's talking about timing and topicality. An early indication of Modi's digital inclination was when the new PMO site went live as he gave his first address after taking the oath as Prime Minister. Yes, I remember that happening and I awaited that. The second point Ashok Lalla points out to is put a face to the communication. Modi is a rare chief executive who does not shy away from being visible in the social space. In fact, he seems to find photo opportunities where one might believe there are none. Wow, that's a way to go when it comes to opportunities. The third point Ashok Lalla makes is about humanizing the messages. Letting a little bit of one's personality come through creates an affinity with one's audience. Instead of having Twitter bots like how probably Maggie and Nestle did it, it's great to see that you've got personalized messages coming out of the office. Now, the fourth point Ashok Lalla talks about is go where your audience is. And he points out to how Modi seems to understand that expecting people to come to you is passe. And so he goes to his audience where they are. YouTube for the video watchers, Instagram to reach the selfie craze photo fans, radio to address the non-online millions across India. Even Weibo, the Chinese social network, to create a connect with young Chinese before he visited lifted the country. Those are things that Modi has done and is doing in the social media space. The fifth point that Ashok Lalla points out about Modi is about enabling the conversation. The essence of social media is the interactions it facilitates and the introduction and active promotion of the mygov.in, that's the portal, is how Modi has created a digital channel of interaction. The sixth point he makes is about integrating across platforms seamlessly. Now, Modi seems to have achieved a healthy cross-platform linkage that allows its audience to get into its stream wherever they are and then navigate across its various platforms easily. This lets him spread and build his narrative very smartly. And the seventh point he points out to is do the new. Novelty helps and spikes interest and talkability. Modi tagging celebrities in his early Swachh Bharat invitations was something never done by a PM earlier and boosted excitement and traction around the initiative. Modi's selfie with the Chinese premier was a first and went viral all around the world. It was not just in India. So those are things that Modi has been doing for a very long time. Now there's a link to this in our show notes. Ashok Lalla also lists down a couple of things that are not so great about social media presence. You can look at the article in the show notes that we have put just below this podcast. And before we move on to our fifth story, that is talking about Nitish Kumar, the Chief Minister using social media platform. The fifth story for today is about how Chief Minister Nitish Kumar responds promptly to complaints on social media platform. And this is another article in the Economic Times. Acting on issues raised by people with the help of social media on the platform Nitish Connect, Chief Minister Nitish Kumar today held a high-level meeting of Commercial Tax Department to redress their problems. Mr. Kumar held meeting with Commercial Tax Minister Bijendra Prasad Yadav, Chief Secretary Anjani Kumar Singh, Principal Secretary Finance Ravi Mittal and Principal Secretary Commercial Tax Sujata Chaturvedi to redress issues raised by 164 people regarding commercial tax on social media. It was decided at the review meeting that the D8 form would not be required up to rupees 2 lakh taxes. Presently, D8 form was required for a sum of 78,000 rupees in case of manual sales voucher and rupees 1 lakh in case of computerized sales voucher. In today's meeting, its limit was enhanced to 2 lakh rupees. The meeting also decided that henceforth the Commercial Tax Department could not disable online facility without 4 weeks notice, unlike the present system when it can be done without any notice at all. Now, Chief Minister are listening to us on social media. Most of the Chief Ministers seem to be. So if we could raise our concerns on social media and they are listening to us and they are actually holding meetings to resolve those issues for us, this is what Digital India is. This is going to ensure that every nook and corner people are able to raise their voice, however minuscule they make of the whole population, but at least somebody is listening. We have yet another article on Economic Times, and that is about how Oommen Chandi Lookalike, a Saudi national, is going to meet the Kerala Chief Minister. A Saudi national, a lookalike of Kerala Chief Minister Oommen Chandi, has been invited to visit India and meet the man himself. Hassan al-Asiri, hailing from Jazan in the kingdom, will be leaving for Kerala sometime later this month, according to a Saudi Gazette report. Someone posted al-Asiri's pictures on social media a month ago, and the photo went viral due to his facial similarities to Chandi. Soon, Al-Asiri was spotted by a few Keralites who showed him the picture of Oommen Chandi. A close aide to Oommen Chandi is reported to have said that the Chief Minister was also amused when he saw Al-Asiri's photos. The Chief Minister would be only glad to meet him if he wishes to come here to meet Oommen Chandi. The newspaper quoted the aide as saying, being. Another Chandi lookalike was also spotted in Canada recently. For those of you who are listening to us and have something to say, you can leave a comment in the comment section below, and you could connect to us on Facebook as Web Marketing Academy, on Twitter as WMA India, and you could also get in touch with me on MANASI, that's Mansi, at webmarketingacademy.in. I hope you've enjoyed the weekly updates. Catch you same time next week. Until then, this is Mansi signing off with the bye-bye.